On today's episode, a future space station detonates, SpaceX has a new project in Australia, Falcon 9 resumes operations, and NASA discovers life on Mars. This is Sierra Space's latest prototype of their inflatable life habitat module, and as you can see, it just exploded again. This is the second full-scale ultimate burst pressure test for the Life 285 design. Unlike the initial burst test from last December, this test includes a large metal blanking plate added to the inflatable pressure shell. The plate is meant to represent a window or any other rigid mounting point Sierra might use for attaching items like a robotic arm, antenna, or other equipment. They are assessing the strength of the interface between the soft goods shell and the metal blanking plate. Windows are useful but can be failure points, so this is where the company is focusing its high-speed cameras and sensors. Sierra is aiming for results comparable to their 2023 test, which achieved 77 psi of internal pressure before bursting. This exceeds NASA's maximum safety requirement of 60 psi and is significantly higher than the module's standard operating pressure of 14 psi, which mirrors Earth's atmospheric pressure. The recent test yielded 74 psi of ultimate burst pressure, precisely what Sierra targeted. This outcome indicates that the addition of the blanking plate did not compromise the structure, allowing the company to demonstrate repeatability and consistency in their prototype builds. On the exterior of this test module, we're seeing the woven Vectrin material, which Sierra refers to as their restraint layer. Vectrin, akin to Kevlar but engineered for space, is used in NASA's EVA suits and was also used in the Mars rover's landing airbags. It's exceptionally strong, and in Sierra's life shell cross-section, it's just the 8th layer. Above it, there are 4 MMOD, micrometeoroid and orbital debris, protection layers, followed by a thermal blanket and a barrier to protect against atomic oxygen. Sierra mentions in their latest video that their MMOD layers are currently at NASA's White Sands testing facility for high-speed projectile testing. Essentially, they are being shot at with a .50 caliber rifle to evaluate their performance. In the future, we'll see the pressure shell and MMOD layers combined for final burst testing, which will reveal the true resilience of this inflatable module. Until then, Sierra plans to deploy and test their Life 285 in orbit within the next few years. The module, which is 9 meters in diameter, provides 1/3 of the ISS's internal volume. By the end of this decade, the company aims to develop the Life 500, which will fit within any conventional rocket fairing, inflate to 9 meters in diameter and 10 meters in length, and offer an internal volume of 500 cubic meters, over half of the ISS's pressurized volume. SpaceX is making moves in Australia. Reuters reports that SpaceX is negotiating with US and Australian officials to land and recover a future Starship upper stage off Australia's coast. While Reuters often cites unnamed sources and Elon Musk frequently dismisses such stories as fake news, many of which later prove true, it's worth noting. This deal could provide SpaceX with a practical landing site for their near-orbital test flights. The last Starship touched down in the Indian Ocean, but it was not recovered. The new plan involves launching Starship from Starbase, Texas, landing it off Australia's coast, and then recovering it on Australian territory. This would mark a significant advancement for a fully reusable Starship upper stage, with recovery either in the ocean or on a floating barge, followed by towing to a port on Australia's western or northern coast. However, there are political hurdles to address first. Technically, this operation would involve exporting advanced space technologies from the US to Australia, which current US export controls do not permit. Yet there are signs that restrictions might be relaxed for global security interests. Depending on your news source, You might have heard that NASA has discovered life on Mars. While that's not the case, they have found a fascinating rock that might hint at ancient microbes on the red planet. This discovery, made by the Perseverance rover on July 2nd, comes from the Jezero crater, which was once an ancient Martian lake. The red rock sample is the first Perseverance has analyzed that contains organic molecules, key building blocks of life, though not life itself. This isn't the first organic material found on Mars. Curiosity also discovered something similar in 2014 at the Gale crater. What sets this new sample apart is its distinctive pattern of white spots with black rims, resembling leopard spots. Perseverance's instruments analyzed these spots and identified iron phosphate molecules in the rims. On Earth, similar textures and chemistry are linked to ancient microbial life. The chemical reactions responsible for these rings could serve as an energy source for microbes. Perseverance Deputy Project Scientist Katie Stack Morgan commented, "Based on our experience with similar features on Earth, there is a possibility that life could have been involved, and these could have a biological origin." This rock displays even more unusual features that have both puzzled and intrigued scientists. It is streaked with white veins of calcium sulfate, which contain millimeter-sized crystals of olivine, a mineral that forms from magma. The presence of both the spotted patterns and these volcanic features in the same rock suggests different origins, adding to the mystery of its formation. Understanding how this rock formed could reveal whether it had conditions and temperatures suitable for supporting biological life. Ultimately, the only way to confirm these findings is to return the rock to Earth for detailed study, which is a key mission objective for Perseverance. However, the infrastructure for a sample return mission is currently on hold as NASA seeks funding for this complex project. There is hope that a private sector company might offer a solution. Discovering samples as compelling as this strengthens the case for a Mars sample return mission, as definitive proof of life beyond Earth would make the mission more justifiable. Stay tuned for updates.